Hello, Steve.
Hey guys, how are ya?
Hey, I'm great to be here.
I am me too. I like I like July.
Come on, man. July and August are the worst 2 months. They're the hottest months of the year.
No, I used to love it because I wasn't in school. I got to play. So
But you know, it is Christmas in July, so there's that.
that is true. That is true. How is everybody? Terry, I did
Ichiki.
your video for you. I didn't like the way it came out. You know why? And I'll do it again. Is because there's so much applause in between his lines.
Oh,
He just kind of looks like he's staring out there, waiting for the applause to die down, so it doesn't have a natural rhythm. Terry asked me to do
do you want
a
another
Donald Trump.
picture?
Yeah, no, it's not the picture. I need to do a different audio that doesn't have applause in the background
Oh, okay.
because you know him. He's asked because Terry asked me to do an avatar of Trump for her, right? A special one, not for me. He's not the guest tomorrow night. That's why you know. But some people cheer, some people are going like good, but anyway, so it's him speaking in front of a huge crowd, according to him, huge, right? And so there's applause every 30 seconds. That's really long. So just watching him waiting for the applause to die didn't translate to a good video in that sense, That.
Thank you.
Okay, but I'm on it for you. Okay.
No rush. I've only been doing it for a week,
Thank
so
you.
it's
Now,
And
I do
Steve,
have
I
to
wanted
say,
to tell you that Terry. Go ahead. That Terry and I are working really together. Like I've been able to translate things on record them on Avatar, on Otter, and then get the transcript and send it to Terry. And Terry is showing me other things that she's doing. So our strengths and weaknesses, we're working really, really well together on getting these things done. So
That is the community.
she's amazing.
And just so you know,
thank
so
you.
Donald Trump is one of the celebrities, along with Taylor Swift, right, his favorite person in the world, whose voice is not allowed to be used as an AI avatar. But we do have a backdoor channel to create it as long as it's not for publication, right? Like, I think the intention is to send it to him. He likes anything with him, so I'm okay with sending it to him, with specifications for that perspective. So if you try to do it, you're going to get an error message, in that sense, because he is on the do not disturb list, so to speak. Um, Go ahead, Santa. I'm sorry. How are you?
Doing well.
Oop, I can't hear you, Santa.
Opened up my
You sound far away.
second.
He's up in the North Pole.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Hello, can you hear?
a little
Is
better.
that better?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay. I was just wondering if you got my link ever opened up.
I did. I got it. I started to see halfway through it, but I didn't see the second half, so I'll do that right afterwards. But I saw the beginning of it just to test it that it was going to work, that the link opened because
Well,
it was
actually,
coming out of Google
yeah,
Drive.
actually,
But it
yeah,
was very blurry. Out of Google Drive, it was blurry. Did you get that on your end? Because it wasn't our link. It was
yeah. Right. Well, that's the way it came out, but it's the principle of if I'm able to load that up, whether I'm able to clean it up or do it that way. It's Wendy's avatar is what I put on, and it's
okay.
not interactive, but I videotaped it as it was interactive. Then I loaded it up into a format and anyway. So basically, it's Wendy's website being interactive.
Okay, but why can't you use Wendy's website interactive with an avatar? And
Well, no, I can't post it on. I can't take it out of your format and post it on YouTube because it won't go to the different
no, but
HTTP pages.
sure, no, but what I would suggest is if you're playing it on YouTube, right? Can't you have a link on YouTube that tells them to click on the link so then it'll play interactive? So the video that you're playing is not an interactive video when they first click on it. It's you, right? Saying teasing them that they should click here because they're going to have this incredible experience. That way you get the best of both worlds. You get the YouTube
Okay.
audience, and then they click on the link, and now they're in a browser playing outside of YouTube in your interactive experience.
Do
That's a
you
much better
Okay,
experience.
if I figure that out, that means when I put it on YouTube, they're clicking into Wendy's website in order ordering off
Correct.
their
So
website.
you want to make a video that's just you, not sharing the website, okay, on YouTube, that encourages them to click on the link below so they can order. So you can, so that's where you can be creative. I'm saying, but so you can still use YouTube, but you
Okay, my
can't use, it's two
Okay.
steps, not one step.
It's not a matter of 1 or 2 steps. I'm taking somebody's website and commandeering it any way I want. Is that a?
Yes, you can do that, but but there's no interactivity. That's the part I don't understand of you playing a video of you and looking at a Wendy's website on YouTube, which
Because
they
it
can't
goes,
click on.
because it will go from menu to menu as Wendy's talking,
Okay,
but it just
but-
won't be interactive. But my real question is back to you. If I made it really interactive with KFC's website, any of these websites, I'm actually taking their website over and making it interactive, and I can say anything I want about their menu.
Yes, you have no compliance issue.
Okay, that'll be fun.
I mean, just don't say their hamburgers cure cancer, and I think you're fine. But I'm just saying, in reality, yes, they will not object to you selling their products because all the money goes to them. So it's not like you got a bunch of KFC buckets or Taco Bell buckets in your basement that you're selling wholesale. So I think you're going to be just fine in that aspect. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
And I'll work with you on it. Hey, so a couple of things today. We had some updates that were pushed to the back office over the weekend that I want to take you through. In case you guys, some of you didn't notice it. One of those is breakout rooms on version 2. So one of them is to be able to add content to the chat from your computer, like a little paper clip and add a file or send a video, as well. So we're not done with either of those, but as opposed to waiting until we're all finished, we're releasing some of those features today that I'll show you.
Steve, can you mute everybody's line because we're getting a lot of background noise?
Sure. Yeah.
I
you can do that.
may need a little bit more help with the breakout rooms.
Oh, unmute yourself, Dave. Sorry.
I didn't realize I got muted. I may
That's okay.
need help with the breakout rooms because Fridays we're using those breakout rooms, so I definitely need to make sure that it's good before Friday.
Sure. If you want, if I have any time tomorrow or Wednesday, book a time with me and I'll be one of your breakout room guinea pigs for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know Charlie wants to be one too.
Maybe all
Hey,
three of us can be in the same room.
There you go. Like I told you, I'm kind of weak myself on breakout rooms, so I actually need to practice in that sense. Okay.
Well, I mean, Steve, you can kind of practice them here with us at some point. Not today necessarily,
yes,
but right?
Yeah, I'm sure I could, but
yes, I know.
yeah.
But working like sometimes when there are people on this call, maybe, and they're like, it's a technical issue, you could break those people out into help somebody fix that issue, and then you would keep the meeting going. You know what I mean? It could be
you know what? I think what we're going to do, longer term, right, is we're going to have these that are not so much customer service issues. These are more trainings, but then we will have customer service issues, calls specifically for that, where, and again, I'm cheating because I'm copying Go High Level in that sense, right? I think Go High Level does a great job of you join a Zoom and they put you in a breakout room, and you wait for that person to come into the breakout room to handle your customer service issue one-on-one versus doing it in a group. And so I think that's a good business model.
Now, I do have something to say about the breakout rooms. In version 1, you can tell it how many breakout rooms to do, maximum 20, and it'll tell you how many people are in the rooms. Alignable does, like, they put 2 people in each breakout room, so it depends on how many people is in, how many breaks it out. So can we also have it where you can tell how many people to put into a breakout room instead of how many breakout rooms?
I'm sure we can. Yeah, I'm saying that's what I meant. As soon as I'm more familiar with myself, I'll do that. I'm trying to just remember from having gone earlier today if it does that, but I'll take a look. So are you saying you're limited, not based on us, but based on your other experiences? You're limited to how many people you can put in a breakout room? Because I don't think you're limited.
No, based on you guys,
right?
version 1, You can only tell it how many breakout rooms to make, and you're limited to 20 breakout rooms.
Right.
I'm a leader in Alignable, and in Alignable, we have breakout rooms that it puts 2 people per breakout room. So it puts people based on the number of people, not the number of breakout rooms, and there's no limit.
Right, but I guess my question on the flow is: are people assigning those people to the breakout room, or is it just arbitrarily assigning 2 people per room?
It automatically assigns. We can move people around, or we could even assign them to breakouts. But we just typically say 2 people and send it, and it sends everybody into breakout rooms.
Okay, I got you. No, that's what I wasn't aware of. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a look at that as we go through it. So let me start here for a second on scheduling. Right, I think you'll look at a little bit, and then I'll start a live meeting. We'll do that. Okay. Second here. There we go. That one again. Okay. So notice now it's not in a pop-up, right? It's embedded right in the screen in that sense, right? And also has a little kind of directional on the left-hand side so people know what every step they're going as they're setting up a meeting, right? So let's just say I'm hitting the title of the meeting here. I'm writing my description, right? I'm going to use my personal link. I can pick the day and the time. And now also it'll tell me my available time so I don't overbook it. So if I've got other times scheduled and I click on the available times, they won't appear as a chance to book that, which is kind of nice as that kind of exists into the CRM eventually. Same thing, waiting room, broadcast, Facebook Live. Choose my meeting, same, notice it's nicely built in. And you can see here as it's going down with me, the checklist of what I'm doing in that sense. So now if I chose interactive meeting, it tells me I picked interactive meeting, go into the next one. And we're changing that term. We're finally solidifying what we're calling the people who get their own links to work with you. We're calling them the Smart Link Ambassadors. Okay? And so you'd click on that.
And then you are going to have co-hosts. I like that.
Correct. And that's why we changed the name, because that's the thing we're trying to do this week is introduce the co-hosts. So we're actually, for the first time, getting ahead of ourselves, right? Okay. So Smart Link Ambassadors, you'd click. Then you want to obviously choose, which company, in case you work for more than one company that you're doing. Remember, as the host, you always pick your own website that you're going to use for your own guests. Okay. And then I continue and see again, it's gone before. Meeting details, meeting format, what I'm going to share, my ambassadors. Okay. And I could choose, just like before, all the ambassadors that I want or not want. I can add new ambassadors. None of that has changed in that perspective. We just kind of made it look prettier. And also you could search. So if I was going to put in, my name, there it is. Now I've added this. If I want to add Jacqueline, I add Jacqueline. So now I picked two ambassadors for this meeting. And also if I need to change any of that information in the ambassadors, I can do that. And now it always will ask me if I want to broadcast it live to Facebook Live. If I want to do that, I can turn it on and put in the URL, or it would notice I already have a URL saved. So if that was my Restream, StreamYard, Facebook Live, I don't have to type it in. I could literally just click on it or decide keep it turned off. And as you see, once again, going down the list.
Check. Now, if you make a mistake, can you just click up the list to go back, or do you have to hit the back button?
Sure. It depends on what section you're on, right? So if I went back here, notice I could turn this on and off, right? I could go the back button here. So that's what I meant. Otherwise, even if I go into edit after I'm all done, it's probably going to take me through the steps to edit. It won't just take me to that particular section to edit, right? So when you edit, it kind of always takes you through because it doesn't know what section that you want to edit. So it takes you through quickly and you just skip until you get to site. Then it says all correct. I'm checking all the information. And remember, so this is trying to make it easier for new people coming in, that it's all clear. And there's all your information, your SmartLink ambassadors, your scheduled meetings, right? Nice and clean. And then I'm done. And then kind of a nice, again, summary, constant summaries, constant links to share, and all that perspective. Any questions on the kind of new feel? Pretty good, right?
Will it send an alert to the ambassador, or send, if the ambassadors are there, is it going to send them the information automatically, or do you have to copy and send it to each one?
Nope, automatically gets sent to them.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah, I know, that is a cool part. Thank you for pointing that out. That you don't have to go ahead and say, oh, now I got so much, 20 links. I don't think so. I'm not copy and pasting 20 links. That's not going to happen, right? So I think that's
about
right.
that.
Right.
So
And then, go ahead.
with Pxch, I know, like, I have a link with Pxch. Rachel has a link with Pxch. Terry has a link with Pxch, but Bob does not. I want to make Bob an ambassador as well. Can I get him a link for Pxch even though he doesn't have Pxch yet?
No. So just the same way, right? The smart ambassadors are people, whether it be your smart link ambassador for Herbalife, New Skin, Pxch, right? You've got to have a website. You've got to be a member. So he would have to sign up beforehand as a free member. So as long as he's a free member, he would have a link, right? But if he doesn't exist,
there is free members.
Correct. Exactly. So that's the beauty of it, is he's not required to pay to become a smart link ambassador, but he is required to sign up, right? It's kind of like, can't do it without knowing who he is, right? And you can't just sign up for him, right? Because you still need his first name. It's not, normal fill out form, not his credit card information. We don't require that in a free membership, but you would want to send him your referral link, right? Where he can sign up for free. So then he's registered. And remember, you could do that after the meeting, so you can set up all the normal people you have, but you still got a couple of days or a day or an hour. And then you could go in and say, hey, Bob, I want you to be blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? So sign up.
So what happens? So they're they're ambassador Pxch, but that means they do belong to Herbalife or Amway or whatever. I guess, where's the tie? So they become the ambassador. They send their link to all their friends, right?
So remember, 1 second. So to think of it more simply, right? So the host is doing a meeting, right? The host is doing a meeting for a particular company, not two particular companies, right? One company. He may be using Pxch to sell Herbalife. He may be using Pxch to sell Pxch, right? So he has to have his own replicated website or affiliate site. And then everyone he invites to be an ambassador has to, if they want to monetize it, right, they have to be a member of that company, whether it be Pxch, whether it be Herbalife, whether it be New Skin. Does that make it easier for you to follow it that way? Because let's say I'm selling Herbalife nutritional shakes, okay, and you want to invite guests to my Herbalife meeting. You're using Pxch the way you would use Zoom, the way you use Google Meets. You're using this. But if I'm not a member of Herbalife, how could, as an ambassador, sell Herbalife products? I got to be a member of Herbalife. So Pxch is no different than Herbalife, New Skin, Amway, Shopify, Amazon. We're a company selling our own products and services. We also happen to be the company that allows you to sell other companies' products and services. That's what makes it so magical, right? So I would say to you, is it a Pxch meeting selling Pxch? Is it a Pxch meeting selling Herbalife? If it's a Pxch meeting selling Pxch, well, he's got to be a member of Pxch, whether he paid for it or not. He's got to be a member. And the good news is for him, it's free to be a member. It's not, but let's say he's with Herbalife. He's an Herbalife rep. He paid $50 to be an Herbalife rep. He's got his own Herbalife replicated website. He's not interested in selling Pxch. He's not interested in joining Pxch. He's not interested in doing Pxch meetings. But he is interested when Dave is doing a Pxch meeting selling Herbalife, because Dave is the best Herbalife presenter there is. So he gets a smart link for free, courtesy of Dave, to go have his Herbalife products sold by Dave live during the meeting. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just
You know,
because
sometimes when I'm explaining something, I say to myself, I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I think I did a pretty good job.
It's good. I think what I was like, okay, well, how if they're not paying for it, but you're allowing them to use the platform for free so that they can have a replicated site they're not paying for. If it was a MLM, they would need their own replicated site, which makes sense.
Correct.
Whether
So
it's free or not, doesn't matter. I get it.
Right, exactly. So one of the kind and generous things that we do, right, is let's say Dave, and I'm sorry, picking on you, Dave. Let's say Dave has a big Herbalife distributorship, right? He's got 100 sales reps that think Dave is God. He knows that if these people think if they get in front of Dave, right, they're gold, right? They're selling products, right? The last thing Dave wants to go to those 100 people is saying, I'll go to work for you today. And I know I asked you to join Herbalife because that's our main business, but I also now want you to pay for pitch. But they go, we never want to do, we don't want to do a pitch meeting. You know, we don't want to, we use Zoom when we do our own meetings, right? So Dave says, oh, you don't have to join pitch. I'm going to give you a link for free attached to your Herbalife replicated website, but you got to promise to invite people and put them in front of me or I'm not giving you a link again, right? And Dave can do that to as many people as he wants in our pro plan. He could literally give out 500 links to try to get 100 people to a meeting to the people in his downline who all have an Herbalife replicated website, right? Now let's say Dave does the meeting. It's a killer meeting. They do $10, $20, $30,000 in sales. These people didn't even have to present. Dave did all the presenting. They didn't even have to go to breakout rooms, right, and close them themselves. Dave did it all for them. And then they're going to turn around and say to Dave, when's your next meeting? And Dave's going to go, I'm doing another meeting, but I've already give out the invite links to everyone else. Sorry, you're not invited. Well, can I do my own meeting? Yeah, you can join Pitch. Now you don't have to wait for me. You can also do the meetings anytime you want. So that to me is like the perfect balance because who wants to join Pitch when they haven't even experienced, they haven't heard about it, they're trying to sell Herbalife products. But once they got a free smart link and they bought guests and those guests close, I don't think it's very long before they go, Dave, let's discuss this pitch thing. I didn't really understand it when you told me about it, but I don't know. It worked. I had 20 guests on that deal. I did $5,000 of products. All I know is I want to do that again, right? So that's the logic.
How do if Terry's not a member and she wants to become a free member, what do I have to do to get her to sign up as a free member under me?
Yeah, let me show you. You can see my screen, right? Sorry.
Yes.
I forget because I'm in the other browser. I'm browser confused, right? Okay. Right here.
Okay.
Click on join now. And if that works, you should be able to sign up for free. Oh, it's because it's in the company site. And that's where they could sign up for free. Every single site, take them to the pricing page. Now they're going to be mad at you because you said it was free and all they're looking at is $49, $79, and $99, right? Then scroll down and hit the join now. Now, I will tell you, you may go, are we trying to hide this? Yes, we are in a sense. And I can tell you why. It wasn't our idea. When it was our idea, we had 4 boxes going across, 3 being the first one, front and center, front to the left, right? And it was our people that were enrolling a lot of people that said, I got them all ready to sign up for $149, $179, $199. Then they saw this free deal, and now I had to start the whole cycle over again. They were like, explain to me this free deal, right? And so it wasn't serving them, right? It was hindering them because it was creating a conversation that they were already past, and now they had to go back. So we didn't want to take away the free program, but we wanted to make sure it's a tool that's used at the right time. So as a company, we weren't trying to slow down free members, but what we didn't want to do is take money out of your pocket when you've already made the sale. And now, because they went to our checkout page, it became, oh, well, I'd rather, sign up for free and see if I could refer 3 people than I'd rather pay. Again, it doesn't happen to a lot of people, but when it happens to you, and you work really hard at signing somebody up, you kind of go, is the company really serving me in the way that they're giving out that information? So if that makes sense. Okay. So, but remember, if you're
So what
working
can
for,
they do with
but if you're working for any other company, I want to be really clear. It's not confusing. I'm an Herbalife sales rep. I'm a New Skin sales rep. I'm an Amway sales rep. They don't have to go through that free process to get a smart link. I got to make sure you're really clear on that. Every single person who gets a smart link to sell their company's products does not need to sign up for free. We're better than that. We're simpler than that. We're less painful than that. Okay? Is that
So would you say that I would have to like I could offer to host a big event, even though it's their event, and give? I guess I don't understand. So I know someone who's in Amway, and I want to approach him. Now, would I say, tell him about the tool, but would I say, hey, this is sign up, get a free link, and try it on your next call? Or do I say, I'll host the meeting for you, and I'm going to give you, what would you say?
I think it's important, Steve, you let them know that the free plan, you can't use the platform. You can only refer people.
I was just going there. Thank you, Harry. Exactly what I was going to say. So free is not free service, right? Free is the ability to sign it, meaning free is for two types of people, right? Because the reason we did free is there's influencers who do not necessarily want to use the product, but they want to sell the product all day long. And it's only direct selling and network marketing companies that make you buy the product, even though you're not going to use it, so you have the right to sell it. And we said that is not the future. So we said, if you're an influencer and you want to promote our products, you can sign up for free, meaning not free service. You can sign up to be a free affiliate, free cash rewards member, whatever the terminology is, right? You want a free member, which allows you to earn the same exact amount of money as Rachel and Harry, who are using the product and paying us. No distinction in the comp plan between Harry, Rachel, and a free user. The difference is, to the influencer, you don't get to use the product. And you know what? If you're a huge TikTok, Instagram, YouTube person, you're going to go, I don't want to use your platform. I love my own platform. This is where my audience is, right? So that's what we say to them is, you know what? You never, ever have to pay us one penny out of pocket at any point, and you can earn our every cash reward that every member does. Now, we happen to believe in our product that if you ever try it, you're going to want to use it. But you know what? Not a requirement. Doesn't get more integrity based than that presentation. Second one is somebody says, Steve, I love your product, best thing I've ever seen, but cash is tight. I just don't have the $149. It's embarrassing for me to say, but it's true. Otherwise I'd be there tomorrow. And for the first time to say to somebody, well, there's nothing I can do for you, or I'll buy the membership for you. Some people do. I know, like Phil, he'll do that sometimes. They'll actually just buy a membership for people, right? Do you know people that want to use this product? Because that's the only requirement that you have to be successful in our company. So if you refer 3 people in the next 3 days who buy a $149, $179, or $199, 2 things are going to happen. I'm going to put between $150, $300 in your pocket as a gift to you for having referred. No obligation, no requirement. And you know what? It's going to happen the following month. I'm actually going to give you the service for free. Every single month you have 3 active people. There's no bait and switch at any point down the line where we come back to you and say, look, here's what we did for you. Now you got to buy a membership. I don't know many companies that with that amount of authenticity could make that presentation.
Well, that's even great for those affiliates, right? Like you're saying. So if you're an affiliate, right, or the free, you come in free, you find 3, 5, whatever people, or you have an audience, and now you've got a bunch of people. Not only did you make money, now you have the service that you'll likely use because now you don't have to pay for your competing products.
So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it really, quite honestly, not saying we're amazing, right? It is amazing. It is an amazing evolution of the business model that I came from for 25 years, right? So that's where we're proud of. And I know Harry's proud of it too, because he's actually been in the business longer than me, right? And didn't have that presentation, right? You know, in the sense that like Harry and I know there's a famous story, right, of one of the most successful distributors, you know, at Herbalife, made more than $100,000 a month. And it was $4,000 to become a supervisor, they called it, in order to earn money. He sold his couch. Sold his couch. Now he's one of the rare success stories who got the money back to buy the house that the couch was in, right? And a bigger house than he ever imagined. But you know how many people sold their couch too? And they ended up sleeping in their car. That's what we weren't going to allow happen here. Because whether it's $100 or the couch, if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? But you can still have the same burning desire, the same dream, the same opportunity for success as the people who go for 149. I don't care if this thing works or not. I'm in, right? We just leveled that playing field in that perspective, right? So Charlie, so yes, the answer is you can approach it a lot of different ways. You could literally say to the, oh my God, I'll host the meeting for you. You know, I'll run the meeting for you. You just do the talking. Give me your site. Give me the names of 5 leaders. You know, that's certainly one way to prove it to him. But more than likely, though, what would happen is you would do a demo for him. He would get a belief factor. And then he'd go, you know what, with 100% money back guarantee, I'm a pretty big Amway guy. You know, I want you to be my wingman on the meeting, but I want this to be my meeting with my people. I'm not really interested in giving you my database and my leadership, you know. So I'm saying for somebody who's built to be successful, that's probably going to be their answer. You know, the guy who's going to, you know, be so worried about spending money that you've got to do all that work for him, you know, the chances of that guy being the right guy probably is less likely, but it is absolutely a tool. It's absolutely a tool.
And the flexibility, and I love it.
And I love the way you're thinking. That's what I'm saying. It's like, that's where I come from. You know, it's kind of like, can I just make sure it happens? What do I need to do to make sure it happens? And I think that is what's great, you know?
Right. I always want to be able to say yes to the customer.
But I can tell you that of all the features that we offer, right, the Smart Link is maybe the most valuable if you're in direct selling or affiliate marketing or an influencer, and the most misunderstood, right? And that's why today's a great call to really clarify who needs to become a pitch member, who doesn't, right? Who creates the co-host? It's the host, right? I go back to it. It's kind of like when you really are a big shot network marketer, 600 seats, the first question they have is, when is it going to be 1,000, when 2,000, right? Your invite links become gold. Your smart links become really valuable because it's a limited number of seats for the exposure. And that's when we talk about that, like that one guy who did $78,000 in sales in a meeting, you know, those invite links become really, really, really important the bigger and more successful you are. You know, in the beginning, it doesn't really matter, right? You know, in that sense. Okay.
So question for you.
Sure.
You referred 3 people, it's free. I'm going to play the devil's advocate. I got 3 people for $49, but I'm $99. Is it still free, or do I have to sign up 6?
You'd have to sign up 3 people at $99. If you're at 99 and they're at $349, you have to sign up people, and it says it right there, that either equal or greater value than what your plan is.
So can you add them together, like 2 49s equal 99?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and again, yeah, and the only reason we have those kind of rules is just so the company stays healthy. You know what I mean? It's this point, you know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Correct. And again, we keep coming up with different, you know, roads, right, to try to create that scenario. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you're, okay, that's why I go back to the plan is so simple, right? If you're in the natural flow, like someone like Rachel and her husband, if you're just in the flow of signing people up, right, it just happens, right? It's because the requirements aren't that big, you know, so everything kind of happens fairly quickly, you know, in that respect, and organically and naturally in that sense. But the nice part, Dave, to your question, there's nothing bad about the answer of having 3 people enrolled at 49 and another 3 people enrolled at 99, right? Because, whether they counted towards your free program or not, remember, you got paid. You're getting paid on those people, right? Which sometimes is better than free, right? Like if you said to somebody who's broke, do you want the free service or do you want $300? He's going to pick the 300 every time, right? So we're the only plan that didn't do if you don't reach the third person to get it free, you're X out of luck. No. If you only signed up 1, if you only signed up 2, there's no breakage. It goes to that person anyway, right? So that's what's really really refreshing, about the point of view of the program. You haven't given us a dime. You only signed up 1 person and we pay you. Sign up 2 people, you pay us. You never got the service for free. You stopped at 2. You still get paid. And guess what? You can at any time pick up, continue the program, sign up 3, let it happen, start to get residuals, once you sign up 5 people, because now it's no longer an, oh, by the way, once you sign up 5 people, especially like Phil says, if they're pro, I mean, it just really happens the way it should happen. So I'm sorry, Paul, did you have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, going back to what you're talking about the sending out the extra link to the guest or the person that you're going to call it free. On some of the development working in my messaging that I'm doing on some of my own software, struggle with this very language. And just like you laid out, you really want to make certain that you've got all of the wannabes get a chance to get in the ledger so we can follow up with them and sell them long term. And therefore, they could get a free option. But we don't want to incentivize the free option. And in working with that language and through some elements, I came up with the conclusion that I needed to change the word to sponsor. So you can get on, and if you don't want to purchase right now, that's fine. I'm going to sponsor you with this link. And now it's kind of an exchange. They felt like they were gifted, if you may, and we're staying away from the free, because the root word free is so poisonous in our society, and it has taken an entire culture to believe that everything in life should be free. And then when they don't get free or a free conversion or some other begathon, they then resent it and it plays against us. So I would think that our languaging becomes important, and a word sponsor, if you don't like that, pick another host or whatever the word is. So I just offer that as an idea.
No, and I think it's a great idea. Somebody else came to me recently with an idea that they have a program where they give out I'll use the term, I apologize, a free membership, right, for a period of time, but they can't get it from the company. They get it from the distributor, right? So a distributor gets a certain number of free memberships that he can give out, sort of like they do at Planet Fitness in that sense, right? And he found the same thing that you did, that the free term immediately devalued it. Mm-hmm. But I have to remember the term they came up with, right? But it's like, hey, I only get a few of these, golden tickets, whatever they're called, right? And I don't want to give this. I just don't want to give it away to you if you don't care about this, right? This is not like free stuff where there's 50 coupons and I'm just giving them out to you and I hope you cash it in. It's like, these are valuable to me, right? And I think you're right, in that sense, that now that we're changing it from smart ambassadors and co-hosts, which is 2 distinct different terms, we need to come up with a better, because everyone makes the mistake that Charlie makes. They just assume free. It's a free use of the product, not a free sponsorship in that sense. So thank you for highlighting that. And it's something that I think our plan would be to come up with the right terminology by that Saturday call on the 18th coming up this month, when we're going to be making quite a few announcements about a go-to-market strategy and things for you guys that are not just feel goods, right? There some of them are going to be some substantial ideas that I think that you're going to be find fairly interesting. So that's going to be for the 18th. So Charlie, are you clear, or is anyone else clear on the smart links about how they work for it? Okay. We're good. Now, I will say that we will be adding, a couple of other ways to create smart links easier. And that maybe we'll have that done by the 18th as well or not, that I'm not sure. But the idea being that if, let's say, Dave, you don't want to create 20 smart links, and you have an unlimited plan, you have a pro plan, so you can have as many as you want, and you just want to fill up the meeting, that there be a page that people can go to and simply request a smart link, because you're doing a meeting Thursday night at 8 o'clock, they're in your organization, they could just request it as opposed to you creating it for them. Sort of the way we do on our Tuesday night phone calls, right? Is, can click on a link and request it, and that you would have the ability to either say, keep it open, anyone who requests it gets their own smart link, with their own affiliate site, that they would get the form to fill out the site as soon as they click on the request, or that you would approve it. So each name that comes in, you go, oh yeah, I know that person. I'll click yes, and then the email will go out. So trying to, again, just to create the most frictionless way to take advantage of that we've been going through. Okay, any other questions on that before I know Helen has a question too, but I just want to hold off a second and make sure I finish a couple of these things before I take any other questions, unless it's related specifically to this.
Well, I want to keep exploring what you're talking about with the smart links, because I have the pro plan, and then like my background. So I've met Helen Weiner in here. She's also in the Great Discovery. So is Kurt Roskoff. So I'm kind of like trying to put an APB out as we brainstorm, because Helen's plan is limited. So what if I take her under my wing? Because she loves to work the plan, where I don't want to be working the plan. I just want to, I see the possibilities of this, and I want to weave the gaps in employee and customer benefits for the hardworking taxpayers, is because they don't get the same advantage of those of us who know how to deduct our business expenses.
Hold on before you go on that tangent. So let's just say to the question, right? Is you can create a smart link for anyone you want, regardless of whether they're not in a plan in our company. If they're on a 49 plan, 79, $99 plan, there's no limitation. So if someone's only in our 49 plan or 79 plan, and they can only create a few smart links, if they're hosting the meeting, you can host the meeting for them and create an unlimited, no restrictions. Right, we have no gotchas in that perspective.
In that case, can you go through the steps one more time so I can see that? I was probably a little late in coming in. I'm doing work for a disabled veteran here, and I do want to serve the veterans' families. And not all the veterans served enough time. Some of them to have no VA benefits. So I want to make sure that the veterans actually have online support, not just for themselves, but for all their family and friends that are in their caretakers network. And that's my incentive to have the pro plan. Thank you.
No, I appreciate that. So again, really quick, because there's a couple of other things that are important for me to go through, but I'm happy to do this. If you were trying to set up a co-host link meeting, right, you hit title, you hit description, right, because you hit on the meeting, pick the day and the time, okay? And we'll skip this to get to this is where you have to go. When you're scheduling a meeting and you want to create co-host links, this is the key. If you don't click on interactive meeting, you won't be able to go forward to the next step. So you really want to zero in on that. So once you picked on interactive meeting, you're going to hit continue. And because you're not going to be the only host, you're going to create smart link ambassador links. You're going to click on that button. Okay. And then just for your own records, this doesn't go out to the world, only goes to your own database. Which company you're working for, whether it be Pxch Discovery, whether it be Pxch, you literally can type that in just for your own records and your own reports. Okay. If this was a Pxch meeting, you're going to create your own Pxch link or whatever link that you want to use. Let's say you wanted to use Colleen's Weiner's link instead of yours. You literally could type that in instead of yours. Okay. So right here, right where the Q is, you could literally just cut and paste and type in anyone's replicated website you want. For purposes here, I'm just clicking my own. Okay.
However, if she has a lesser plan than mine,
It makes no difference what plan she's on. You're
Okay.
hosting the meeting and you're creating the links.
Okay.
So it makes
And
no
then my
difference.
final question is, because at the time I set things up, I want to change, instead of the back part of my link saying Sister Sue Weaver, I want it to say Wellness Weavers. Can I go in and make that change?
Yes, you have to do it on your account. It doesn't, you can't do that per meeting. You have to do that per your account. So you go to my account, you go to my profile, okay? And here is where you hit edit and you create whatever name you want. Now you're limited to the only thing that the name would be the last part, the first, but everything will still say meet.mypitch.com/my, but you could change the join me, which I chose, right? You could change that into whatever term you want for your invite links.
Thank
Okay?
you so much.
No, thank you. Okay. All right. So we're clear on that. Okay. One thing I was also wanted to show everyone, which we never really spend any time on, is if you go to my meeting reports. Okay. I don't know if you guys notice, right, about what the report really is, right? So you can actually view the report of a meeting, and you can literally you can download this, but you really see everyone who showed up to your meeting and everyone who used a co-host link, or if it's an instant meeting, just who showed up to your meeting. But you do have this kind of information, I'm saying, that is available to you for every single meeting you do, whether it's an instant meeting or scheduled meeting, in that sense. So that's just something I know that we never really talk about, in that sense. I want to make sure you guys saw that. And also that you also have the ability to set things up that are permanent all the time, as opposed to doing things on the fly. So this is in my meeting settings. I'm sorry, let me just hit mute all for a second here. Look at this one. I think Rebecca, I think you're the one. No? Yeah, sorry, Rebecca. Your sound was coming through. Okay. Okay, so here's where you can set up the meetings. So if you want, let's say, auto recording, if you want every meeting to be on a recording, you may want to do that now, because every time you do a recording, you also get an AI executive summary of your report. That's the only trigger you need to get an executive summary right now, is turn on auto recording. We're going to have it where you can have a more obvious button to go do that. But again, just kind of look through these buttons, is in your meeting settings, okay, in that sense, right? And now, again, we're just getting a little late, so I just want to show you this. So if I'm starting a meeting in version 2, okay, I'm going to join the meeting. So the thing that is what we don't want to do is create 55 more buttons on the bottom. You want to try to keep this real estate, not more than we have, right? In that sense. So that's why we added these drop down arrows next to certain things. So if you look now and you click on people, when you click on the arrow, you not only click on people, you get the options. Participants, the way we normally did before, you just click on participants and it comes, but also now you can have participants and click out breakout rooms. And so now, that's where I'm saying I want you guys to play with it, right? This is what I'm going to play with. Now, I can't do the assignment and see how that works because I don't have anyone else in the meeting with me. So that's where I'm going to do a couple of those and practice in that sense. But that's where your number of breakout groups, right? This is how you assign the people. You can drop and drag them, shuffle it, change it. I don't know if we have that button automatically where it'll just assign based on the number of people evenly. I have to ask about that. And then you can start the breakout rooms, join the breakout rooms, return to the meetings. All those features are right here. So when you guys get a chance to play with that, come back to me with your feedback. Like I say, all the features aren't been unloaded there in that sense, but we're going to work on that. And this is what I was talking about in the chat. Notice here we added a whole bunch of more emojis for people to be able to do that. In that sense. And here's where you can attach a file. Click on that paperclip, and now you have access to add a file from your computer, PDF, video, links, whatever that may be in that sense. So phase 2, or hopefully we'll do really shortly now, is add private groups, one-to-one chats. In that perspective, that's what's going to happen here in the future. Also, there'll be an AI agent in there, so you'll be able to ask questions based on the URL that you type in to be able
Can
to
you save it yet?
I don't know. I don't think we have the save button there. I didn't see that yet. No. Not
Okay.
yet. Okay. But it literally could be 24 to 48 hours. I'm saying I know they're in the middle of working on those features, but I wanted to show you this for the training today, so I asked them, to release it so we can play with it. Okay. So, guys have done a lot of work this weekend.
Yeah, I haven't played with the virtual breakout rooms in this version. In version 1, you can't just send them. You have to assign, and you have to amount how many breakout rooms to do.
Okay. So yeah, whatever features that you want us to consider, just text me that or email me that, and I'll discuss it with the team. That you say based on, because you're someone who uses it and have a much better insight into what that functionality is important to you. Well, definitely, it's the perfect moment to send me those recommendations.
I'll send you a text as we get done with here.
Okay, perfect. And like I say, the team loves that kind of impact burst. Like, oh, can't believe he wants that. It's like, no. I wish they told me he wanted that. I mean, they have the opposite viewpoint, right? It's kind of, especially when they're in the moment of finishing it. Okay. I'm sorry. I know today was kind of a heavy training of a lot of stuff, and I appreciate all the questions. I'm sorry if you are brand new and you're going to go, did I just walk into a firestorm of hello? Is there anything else?
I do real quick.
Steve, I got a question. This is Rebecca.
Sure.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I could not get my systems in place here. So if you're branching out in a meeting and doing multiple breakout rooms, is there an executive summary? Is it being auto-recorded in the breakout rooms as well?
I'm not sure. I haven't tested that, so I don't want to answer
Okay.
that. But as soon as you hit record, right, the summaries go. I will say this, that if it doesn't do it today, we did design it for it to do it. It's just that, again, it's only been released 24 hours, but I had that conversation specifically about recording the transcripts, the summaries for that, because we have someone who has a use case. I'm sorry, Rebecca, I'm just going to put you on mute. Feel free to unmute yourself to respond. Somebody has an AI agent that they want to use in our platform, and they specifically use breakout rooms. And they want that AI agent to have access to the transcript of every room to do an analysis, because they kind of categorize and put you together with other people in those kind of scenarios. So that's why I can honestly say I know for a fact, right, that the transcripts will be available. I wasn't necessarily excited about making video recordings available for every breakout room, because I just think that is a mess to manage and distribute. But the AI summary for each breakout room, yes, I think that's a very good use case. Okay. Hey, Cheryl, by the way, while you're here, I just want you to know your guest was on today and she had a great experience.
Yay.
Yeah, so I should know that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she was like one of those over the moon experiences, She was, it was a pleasure to do a demo for her today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So yeah, because I know you didn't have a chance to be on with her, so I just want to make sure you do that. Okay. And she's going to follow up with you. Okay.
Oh, okay, that's good. Because they don't tell me when they're coming.
Yeah,
I don't make the appointment for them, which I probably should.
I promise they didn't say don't tell Cheryl. They don't tell Cheryl I'm here. They didn't say that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is anyone brand new who's never seen the platform? Because I don't want to leave you kind of like going smart ambassador links. I just wanted to share a screen today. Is there anyone that if I need to, that I could just help today? Otherwise, just so you know, tomorrow we'll be on at the same time. And I really would like to kind of tomorrow to kind of, again, especially with some of the new features, kind of go really kind of through it from the beginning, set up and all that experiences. Like I say, maybe even do a breakout room if I'm willing to take the challenge. I'm not promising that. That may be more of a Wednesday deal. And also, Gail, I see that you're on. I want you to know your guest also had a great experience today. So I thought,
That's two.
it was good. Yeah, it was a good doubleheader today. All righty. Other than that, guys, I'm going to let you go. And yeah, feel free to play with the new experiences in that sense. Okay. And play with creating some, smart links, just to see the experience, see the emails that go out, pretend you're your own guest, send yourself a link under another email, just kind of go through the process. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Steve.
All righty.
Thanks. Have a
Okay.
great
Everybody.
night.
Everyone.
Okay. All right. I'll see you
Bye.
tomorrow.
One of
Okay.
you